on 14th of April, and I'm sure that all of you are as excited as I am. With me today, we are going to be in conversation with two of the most important people in this process. The creator of this wonderful, wonderful world himself, Prashant Neel, is here with me, and the rocking Rocky of the film, Yash, is here. So I just thought we'd sit and have a little bit of a chat about the genesis of KGF, like how you got into it, what got you excited about it, your influences to make this movie, to create this world, and so on and so forth. So I think to start with, wherever I've gone, I must share with you, I did mention to Yash as well earlier, that there is such an excitement about this film. And there is also, I must share, one disappointment, because people who are now excited about KGF 2 are disappointed that some of them didn't go to the theatre to watch KGF 1. So they're disappointed about that. But I guess they'll make up for it now. How do you all feel on this at this time when the film is just about to come out to the world?
We're excited. It's 8 years of journey, Prashant?
8 years.
Yeah, 8 years since the inception. So we have been discussing about it. We are living in that world for a pretty long time.
Yeah.
And then chapter 1 gave us that confidence, and that has given us that kind of strength where we can take it to next level. And today we finished all our work. Like yesterday he was kind of disappointed that he's finished it. So probably he wanted to be in that world itself. So that's why he was not part of our promotional activities also. He was very busy with the post-production.
I think even now he's sitting and actually thinking about is there anything left to be done. He's like, I would much rather be in some post-production. How are you feeling?
Exactly,
Yeah.
that will be his mindset.
I feel like, I'm marrying my daughter off and sending her away. When we started this, I never imagined that we're going to be in a place like this, honestly. I think the only person who had that vision was him. And he kept driving us to do this in the way that we had written it. Usually, it simmers down when you're making only a Kannada movie. You get only this much budget. And then when you think about it and say, okay, I wanted this visual, but can we achieve it? And he was there from the beginning telling us that, don't worry about it. What you have written should come out.
Yeah.
And somehow we achieved that. And today, budget is not a constraint at all. Just the whole hype and enthusiasm around the project. And somehow we shielded ourselves from that all these days. But now that, we are out of it and, we are coming finally towards the release.
Yeah.
Now it's hitting us.
Yeah, of course.
Have we made the product to what people are expecting? Because everybody will have a different version of what KGF should be. The chapter 2 should be. And for us, we have kept it as the purest form. What we had written initially is what we have executed right now.
True.
So we don't know.
But I must tell you that, of course, we saw KGF 1. We knew KGF 2 is happening. But even as a kind of an insider on the project, my mind was completely blown when I saw the trailer. Because, like you're saying, of course, everyone creates a film in their own head when they know a sequel is coming. But I think what you all have done visually, for now, of course, the story people will see and they will enjoy when they see it. But visually what's happening, I think is far beyond what anyone could fantasize of or expect. So I must give you a lot of credit for that, because it's blown people away visually. That aspect of excitement is taken care of, now.
Thank you.
So I definitely. And when you started KGF, you were mentioning earlier when we were sitting here and talking, you said in 2006 was when this idea kind of first came to you. So when did you and Yash kind of start putting your heads together and saying this is what we should do?
It's almost like destiny. I know we're talking like lovers right now. But it is sort of like destiny that in 2012, somebody asked me to watch one of his movies. I hadn't watched his movies. I knew that he was very relevant at that point of time. And that movie is called Googly. So I watched that movie. I said, wow, here is somebody that is going to be big. And I loved his acting. His magnetic personality on screen, something that I was drawn to immediately, and I mentioned it to him also. And he watched Ugram. That was my first movie. and
I was blown.
Yeah.
and he liked it. And the strangest thing happened. My producer asked us if I had a line which was as raw as Ugram was, and I just told him one scene. There's just one scene from the movie, you know, where there's this first time that Andrews comes to Mumbai, to Bombay, and he asks for Rocky, and he gives him this very arduous job of going and killing Garuda.
Yeah.
That was the first scene that I narrated to him. I didn't narrate anything else from KGF. I didn't even have the title.
Right.
KGF was a very loosely based title. And I mentioned it, and he said, who do you think will play this? I said, Yash. That was the first name that came to my mind. And the next day, he was sitting in the office in front of me. And he heard a little bit of the line. I don't know what excited him from that point. He said, we are doing this. And we haven't looked
So what
back.
was that? He's saying, I don't know what excited him.
No, initially I saw his Ugram ka trailer. Murli was a dear friend, so that Murli was the hero in his film. He came to me with the visuals and for the promotional this thing. I saw it, I'm like, whoa, what is this? It looked like a Hollywood film or a Western this thing. And I'm like, wow, who's this guy? And then I loved it, and I just gave a honest feedback. And then I attended his premiere, I think. I saw the film and I was like, I fell in love with his work, craftsmanship, and the way he had control over all the department. And I was like, wow, this guy is something else. Likewise, I thought this guy will be big. And then Karthik went and approached him. I was not aware of it.
Right.
Then Vijay sir told, okay, there is one director. I said, I love to listen to this thing. He's a fantastic director. And we all sat together. And then he narrated a script. I don't know whether I can tell this or not.
Of course you can.
If you listen to his narration, if he had not done Ugram, I'm sure many of the people would have rejected his film. Now I can talk about that thing because the whole world knows what he's capable of. But at that time, his narration it was pathetic, I should say. But I could see that fire and intention, and he was very clear. It's like he was not able to communicate. I think to communicate, he needs one camera and few actors and big setup and all of that. So I just heard this thing, and that was a story. And in that story, this whole KGF part was the smallest, I think.
It was a very small part.
Right.
Very small, and it is such huge thing. Trust me when I say this. When people are talking about KGF and they say it's huge, massive, and all, I said, "Did you say that illegal mining and all of this?" And I said, "That's a fantastic point. Why are you putting everything into one? I think this itself can become one world." He said, "Really?" I said, "Yeah. Everything is so nice. Whatever you're talking, there are like so much in one this thing." And then he said, "Okay, let me think about it." And then, of course, he would have had his idea. But I got to know that whatever he has in his mind, I know it. I think we generally discuss. It's like on another level.
Wow.
So the KGF, what people are enjoying, this country is celebrating. That is the smallest part in the narration what he gave.
Wow. Wow.
Am I right?
I think so.
Yes.
So when I see, like the way you're speaking now, and when I see the film, there's this synergy that happens between a filmmaker and an actor. And like this movie especially, it kind of takes me back to that angry young man kind of space, and there was I think it was more the writers, you're also the writer of course, but not the filmmakers per se.